Hey y'all.
Hi.
So it's day 0 of WBC and we are not yet at WBC.
Correct.
So we flew out from Denver about 1:20 in the morning, Friday morning, Thursday night.
Yeah,
really.
Thursday night, yeah.
And then got in about 6:45 or so into Philly. Now normally we would fly into Pittsburgh, I am told, to make it about an hour and a half drive or so from there to where WBC is, which is World Board Game Championship. And that's at Seven Springs Mountain Resort down in kind of southwest Pennsylvania. But we decided to fly into Philly so we could hang out with our buddy Carmen and his wife Elaine, who run Game Surplus.
That's correct. So Carmen picked us up this morning from the airport, and let's see. Okay, so.
Well, then took us kind of on a tour.
He really did, yeah.
Of the kind of the remarkable places.
It was really cool. Like, we didn't get out of the car or anything, but we drove around, and he was like, "Okay, there's Constitution Hall, and there's
Independence Hall,
yeah,
and all
there's
this stuff.
The Liberty Bell's down that way,"
Right.
and it was. The streets are so narrow.
And people just park in the middle of the street.
Yep.
Like, it's crazy here.
It was really, really cool, though, to be able to see all that history. Not necessarily, like I said, we didn't, get up close and personal, but to still just know that that's where X is or where X happened or whatever. It's very cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I mean, yeah, I would have loved to have seen Tun Tavern. I mean, being a Marine,
Yes.
obviously. So we, first things first, though, at 7:30 this morning, Carmen took us to both Gino's and Pat's, which are cheesesteak places, which those are the quote-unquote touristy ones, whatever. And then we went over to Carmen's house, Carmen's pop's house, to have breakfast, which really, seeing as we really hadn't slept the night before, was still kind of a continuation of Thursday. And I gotta say, so Pat's cheesesteak was really tasty. Gino's had better texture and better. They both had their perks. They weren't terrible, I'll tell you that.
Right. So, like you said, the ones from Pat's were the meat was better tasting to me, but the one from Gino's was, I liked the bread better there. I liked the just the consistency of the meat better there, but. Oh my gosh, that's
and
like
of course
nitpicky.
We had Whiz With, right?
Well, yeah.
Which is what you're supposed
Whiz-Wit.
to do, right? Yeah, Whiz Wit. There you go.
Yeah, it's really good.
So after that, he took us driving around Philly. We saw the Rocky Steps, we saw the Rocky statue, and all this. So that was cool. And unfortunately, we just didn't have time today to be able to actually stop and do all the sightseeing touristy stuff. We'll do that next time we come out here. And then after that, we went to Lancaster, which is where Game Surplus is and where Carmen and Elaine live. We hung out at their house, checked out dude has games everywhere, all over the house.
Literally everywhere.
Which is kind of somewhat expected, I think, out of that. And then he put us up in this tobacco barn.
Old tobacco barn, renovated tobacco barn.
Yeah, so he put us up in this hotel, which is pretty crazy. Like Lady Gaga stays here, Brad Pitt stays here, and all this.
Because it's a 5-diamond resort, but it's hidden. It's tucked away in like kind of a crappy part of town, and it's just, you would never believe that this was right in the middle of.
Yeah, it completely surprised. We expected to stay at his house, so that was this is nuts. That's actually where we are recording this tonight. We had dinner with Carmen and Elaine and a special guest, I guess, right? It was Velma Smucker, who is the former owner of Game Surplus and who we originally met through Jeff Gamble, formerly of the Longview podcast, and who put us in touch with Game Surplus. And so we've become really good friends with them. I mean, obviously they're a show sponsor, but they're also they've become really good friends of ours. And this is the first time we ever got to meet Velma in person.
Yes.
And she's just adorable as all get out, right?
It's awesome. Yeah, she's just this tiny little lady that's so nice.
Right. And then after that, we had an amazing dinner here at the resort, and then came back to the room and calling it a night, basically. We're going to have an early start in the morning. We're going to go to the Central Market, which is the oldest continuous market in the country, is what we're being told. We're in Amish country here.
I'm really excited for you to see all of this stuff at the market tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be pretty cool.
Speaking of Amish, we need to talk about what we saw at the restaurant. There are special parking areas.
Oh, yeah. So there, every like store type building has a place for you to tie up your horse and buggy. Which, if you're familiar with the area, you're like, yeah, obviously. But I'm a city boy, and really? I know the Amish, but it just never would have occurred to me that you have to tie them up.
No. I was like, what is that? Oh.
And the really just surreal
best part
of that was right next to where you tie up your horse and buggy are 2 Tesla charging stations. So you're talking the absolute opposite ends of the spectrum.
Right, and it's like you said when we were there, someone had to have done that on purpose.
Right,
there's no way.
Like, oh yeah, we got to put these next to each other because that'd be hysterical, right?
There's no way that was an accident.
So that was pretty funny to see and just surreal.
Yeah.
So yeah, Central Market in the morning, and then really pretty crazy while we're on our way to driving to WBC, which I guess is about a 4-hour drive, 4.5 thereabout.
Yeah, that's what I'm understanding.
We're going to take a detour and stop by Gettysburg.
Yes.
The Gettysburg. We're not going to get a whole lot of chance to explore and walk the battlefield or anything like that, but we're going to get out and see it. I think we're going to see where Pickett's Charge was and stuff, which, dude, that's crazy to me, right?
Yeah, it's always crazy to me to be somewhere in the exact spot that X happened, no matter what it is.
That, like a world moment happened.
Yes.
So looking forward to that, and we're definitely going to sightsee and do all that stuff next time we come out. And then after that, we're going to head to WBC, get situated at the hotel/resort, whatever there, and figure out exactly what tournaments we're going to get into, and then rec shop.
501. What?
So yeah, that's day 0. It's been very touristy kind of, and it's been very, wow, this is cool to be able to take the extra day, and that's why we decided to fly into Philly and road trip with Carmen instead of flying into Pittsburgh and just going straight to the resort, because why not, right? So big thanks to Carmen and Elaine for making the trip possible and helping us out with all of this. And it was very cool to meet Velma.
Yes.
And just, also one other thing we're going to do tomorrow is before we hit the road, obviously we got to stop by Game Surplus HQ and see the warehouse where all the games come in. So that'll be cool to see as well.
I'm excited.
So we're definitely going to document all this stuff, both pictures and video. And we'll show that to y'all when we get back. So.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
I don't think so. I'm going to go
Other than you're trying not to fall asleep.
I literally am trying to not fall asleep while doing this. So
because we've been up since essentially 4 a.m. or 4:30 a.m. Thursday morning, and it's now at least local time 10:30 Friday night. So
I'm exhausted. Doesn't even begin to describe how I am.
The good news is you get like 9 hours of sleep.
I know.
So, all right, that's it for day 0. Thanks y'all, and we'll talk to you next, I guess, day 1 from WBC.
All right.
See y'all later.
Bye.